Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do these Christmas nails. Stay tuned. Alright, we are going to start with this We the Female OPI polish. It is a bloody red kind of color. It looks it's more of a rustic red. We are just going to be painting this all over all the nails, making sure we try to stay nice and clean. I really like this color because it is kind of not your traditional red. But when you put the mats on it, it looks very beautiful. So I do definitely recommend this red. I have been using it a lot this season on all of my clients. So yeah. The next one that we are going to be using is Delight and China Glaze. And we're just going to go ahead and shake this up real quick and apply it to all the nails. I like to swipe over and over and over again, as you see inside this clip, just because it gives, every time you swipe more, it just adds more glitter to it, which I like that. I like a really glittery nail. I don't really like having any gaps in between the polish. And this is what it looks like with the polishes together. We are just going to go ahead and take a cleanup brush. I have this one right here that I got from my local nail supply store. And I'm just going to get acetone and clean around the cuticles, making sure that everything looks nice and neat. And I'm going to go ahead and do the two coats. I had did the second one off camera. I'm using this Voan brush in this OPI and Alpine Snow. And I'm just going to dot it on the back of this stamping plate. I usually don't like to use this one just because it is plastic, but since it's gel, it's easier just to wipe off. Now we're going to just load the brush and get as much on there as you are comfortable with. And I am going to start outlining this nail. We are going to be doing the deer on this middle finger. And I like to start from the tip and go all the way up. We're going to make kind of like an upside down teardrop. And then I like to work from one side and then go to the next side and kind of like make a V, but it more rounded. I don't really like to start from the top just because I feel like doing the top, it kind of makes the head, sometimes it will end up getting a little bit too big, and I don't really like the way it looks like that, and I still need enough room to do the antlers and the ears. And so I like to flip it around also just to see what it looks like, and we're just going to go ahead and fill that in. And I like to go and touch up around the edges just a bit more, and I do little by little and keep on dragging it towards the center. And that part up top, it was a little bit dark, so I wanted to go back and add a little bit more. I'm just going to add the ears and put an S up at the top and then swoop for the under part. So you could see it and then go again. I like using a gel right over this for the design just because I really like the way the Alpine Snow Gel, I feel like it's very easy to make your design with it. It's not like a regular polish. Regular polish, I do feel like it will tend to skip a little bit, which I'm not really a fan of. So this I feel like is perfect for it. And I'm just putting it straight over the polish. I didn't put any top coat or anything on it. And then I'm just going to go touch up the back, or touch up the ears just once again and making sure everything is exactly how I like it. And I'm just going to be putting a top coat over this. And I had put a top coat, I like to put a top coat over all of my regular polish sets and then put the matte on top. I don't like to put the matte right away. Making sure your application stays nice and clean and you're not getting it in your guys' clients' cuticles. And make sure you get those edges. I like to go around each of the nails and wipe some of the gel off of it, just so keeps their shape and it doesn't end up rounding out from the gel. Alright, and this is what they look like after they've been cured for 30 seconds. Next, we are going to get this Lac Gel Matte Top Coat. I really like this one and the Koopa Matte Top Coat. Those are the best ones. If you guys would like to see a video, go ahead and click on my profile and you'll be able to see the mattes that I tested out and what I think of them. But for this set, we're just going to be putting it on our middle finger, and I'm just going to go ahead and wipe away some of that gel just so it continues to keep the shape of the nail. Alright, and we're going to pop that into the light for 90 seconds. And we're going to get this rubbing alcohol and we're going to spray it on a napkin or a lint pad, whatever you guys prefer, and then wipe it down, making sure that you get that tacky layer off. And this is what it looks like after. And we are going to be putting these beautiful stones. These are the Swarovski crystals. I don't know what size they are, but I use a large, medium, and small size. Usually they go by numbers, but that's just how I have it. And so I get the medium size that I do have, and then this Montage nail resin from my local nail supply store. And I like to go ahead and dab that on the nail. I don't like to put too much, just the right amount, and then I like to put the stone on it. Once you're working with the resin, you kind of know more or less how much resin to put on there for each stone. Once you get comfortable with it. But just if you aren't comfortable with putting stones on yet, I do recommend just using a dotting tool and putting it on somewhere first. Alright, and next we are going to be putting the resin on the pinky, and then we are also going to be putting a medium size and a small size on there. Okay, now we're going to take this Young Nail stamping plate. I use this card. It's not the one that came with it, but this is the one that I have. And I like to get this Alpine Snow, and I like to go over the center of it just because those are where the angles are at, and it's a little bit harder to get in each corner of that. And we're just going to slide the card across, and then we are going to dab this on it, and we are going to roll it onto the nail. And I was trying to do my best to make sure I got it in the center, and I do like the placement. It is almost instantly dry, so you don't have to worry about any smudging or anything right after you're done with it. I'm just going to get a cleanup brush and clean the polish off of my finger. And there we go. I am just going to put this Lac top coat on top of the nail. And then we are going to be curing this for about 90 seconds. Depending on your light, it might be more or less. Just test your light. If it still kind of looks a little bit more on the shiny side, like you just got done polishing it, then you do need to cure it for more time. Just because I noticed this polish, it does have the directions on it, but sometimes it takes more time, sometimes it takes less time. That's kind of the only downfall of it, or that I've experienced. So I like to use a UV light, but for the UV light, I do use 140 seconds. I do have an LED light, but the LED light doesn't seem to cure it for me as best as the UV light cures it a lot better for me than the LED light. And I'm just going to wipe down the sides again just to make sure I keep the shape. And we're going to pop it into the light for 90 seconds. Alright, now that that is done curing, we're going to wipe it down with alcohol and make sure that we get that dispersion layer off of it and see it's nice and matte. We are going to be adding one more thing to this nail. I had wanted to put a stone, so we're just going to use this resin. Again, make sure that you don't put too much glue on it. Since it is a matte nail, it is easier to see if you over glue the nail, or the stone, I mean. And it doesn't really look that great, especially in your pictures when you take them for Instagram. So you just want to make sure your application is very clean, and making sure that is right in the center. And I had used a medium stone. I'm sorry I haven't gotten the sizes for these yet. Every time I go, I kind of forget to ask her which sizes I do use. Um, but yeah. Alright, and you want to make sure that those stones, they fully dry. Don't wet around your nails with this resin on, just because I do see, or I did notice that it does tend to kind of turn white if your clients go to wash their hands right away. So anywhere where there's glue seeping out of underneath the crystal, it'll end up turning white and it doesn't look that nice. Eventually it will come off, but just right after you do your client's nails, you don't want um, them to look like that. And we're just going to go ahead and put a stone on the thumbs as well. I felt like the thumbs, they looked a little bit plain, so I wanted to do 2 dots on there and then do a medium and a small stone. The wax pencil that I'm using is from Ardell. I had also gotten this from my local nail supply. Okay, and I like to point it directly forward just so I can make sure that the stones are directly in the center of the nail. The nice thing about this resin is that it doesn't dry very fast. It takes kind of a second, so you do have a little bit of time to mess around with it. So if you feel like they're not directly in the center, then you could just push them around. Let's see if that's how it looks. Alright, you guys, this is a finished product. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And as usual, I'll be back with more videos. Happy holidays. Bye.